Anti-Afro Svengalis, I'm going to show you something on the screen. Just keep in mind the screen is going to move most likely before you have time to read what's on the screen. You can go back and check that out, or you can stop the screen. But I'm matching what's on the screen with what you're going to hear. We have to make sure the record is straight regarding the Medicaid defrauder. Dempsey fears. He fears quite a lot. And you're going to hear about it in these clips. Stay tuned and I will return. One other apology, the heavy editing, because Dumpsey is off the rails in essentially every phrase he spoke had vulgarity and abuse that I'm not going to associate with those that he's referring to. But you'll be able to capture the meaning. So don't touch that dial after you hear buyer beware.
Want to know, man, Dita Rail, I heard you did something unprofessional. You want to ask me why I'm not doing videos? Because I'm protecting the fucking bag. I want to see people lose their credentials. People concerned about people keeping licenses, certifications, jobs. I'm not willing to participate in some shit that caused the demise of other fucking human beings. That shit is sick. They want to get people fired from jobs, and motherfuckers want to, niggas with nothing want to take away from people who got something. And to be honest, man, the thing about it, if I wasn't self-employed, this would have probably got me. And if I was, if I'm working somewhere, man, you know how some of these jobs do, man, with people working and stuff. Yeah, so that shit happens. Different jobs are very, particular about your online behavior. They got all these new rules and policies that they put in about social media accounts and shit. You lost your job for the second time. Man, I'm not about to be fussing with these over nothing, man. And they're just sitting there waiting on you to say some shit so they can try to contact somebody. I'm contacting the FBI and man, do they really understand how silly they look in real life? Because in the sector, y'all, they be entertained by this shit, man. Not entertaining what Carrie Ann went through, man. That shit ain't entertaining to me. Up in here trying to tell a teacher how to act. Fucking failed ass marriage and family therapist with no address to find her and shit. Can practice trying to tell a nigga how to function on their job and how to be professional. And I can't believe you said niggas was trying to come out and support a real G. Man, that is some sick, man. I don't even want to watch the content because that shit would make me. Nah, I don't even want to watch it. Stop. Now, I know this is entertainment, but you don't play with fucking children. And binary, this is going to come out. When they said that shit about him and the kids, did Rev G come out and support your ass? He didn't. They say a fucking thing. And though it did AES when they came out with that shit. The lost sponsorships and shit over some dumbass shit he did on YouTube. And you want to turn, that's what I'm saying. That's why, because I be questioning the intelligence, trying to take your sponsorship. Nigga was dealing with little children and shit, impact on their life through sports, teaching them life lessons and shit. But you went on YouTube and shit and lose sponsorships that hurt the team. And then you're going to turn around and support nigga who was responsible for calling to help you lose fucking sponsorships? Who do that shit? Somebody try to, man, make me lose if you make me lose $1, nigga, in public, I'm swinging on your ass. With my money, it ain't gonna be no talking. Ass, you can say I snuck you, because as soon as I see you, I'm swinging. Damn right. You made the first swing when you made me lose my money, or whatever I lost. The shit with Carrie Ann was the final straw for me, man. It really was, man, because I'm like, is this the only fucking way the sector can really get hot or be entertaining? As most gotta damn near be on national TV and statewide TV. And shit gotta go viral and much knocking at your door, and that's the only way this shit can be entertaining. Like, come on, man, that shit ain't right. When I told about why people asking why I ain't sue anti and do all this, man, let me tell you, there's a difference between me, a motherfucker with nothing, going to court as opposed to me having to spend thousands of dollars to get a fucking judgment that I know this broke but can't pay. Yeah, I would win. I would go throughout, but I'm not trying to spend 5 figures plus over some shit on YouTube. And let me tell you something, I talked to 2 lawyers that were open to taking the case, right? I'm not spending no $10, $15, $20,000 for this bullshit. I'm not for this bullshit. I'm not. If I would have did it, really the time I should have did it was in 19 and 20. The statutes of limitation ran off on that identity theft shit. That was the thing I could have got her for that I didn't. And yeah, and I know, man, Tiffany Phillips told me, man, and I just didn't want to fuck with all of that. But man, look, I'm past that. I dropped the ball on that one. I just moved on, man. I want to see the shit, so I'm gonna do it. But I just got to a point where, man, I can't, these niggas want to fight forever, man. Fucking AFWs, these motherfuckers want to fight about the same shit over and over, nonstop. They want to get people fired from jobs. Y'all can stay away from me. All of them. It's crazy, man. What's going on, man? I'm just saying, man, y'all supporting this when y'all know damn well if y'all was in that situation, it's not say shit to support you. The only motherfucker Gerald gonna support is anti-Afro and nobody else. Shit, this nigga even talk shit about Lennon.
Let me say this first. Dumpsey can have an opinion. Medicaid fraud, he can have an opinion all day, every day. But he is a total pathological liar. Let me tell you what he lied about that I can't let go. I'm not going to ignore it. He says that Gerald filed complaints against Binary and named something about a sports team. Gerald didn't file a single complaint against Binary. So he's lying. I filed a complaint with the school district and that is it. So all this talk about filing complaints with football teams, that never happened. Not with us. But Dumpsey never talks about anybody else, but that's okay. I just want to make sure you're aware of what Dumpsey has to do in order to try to get a point across. He has to lie. And then the other thing he lied about, which we've seen here, Gerald defends a lot of people. He's done that before I met him. He's doing it now, and he will continue to do it. He had a whole life before he met me. This is ridiculous saying that Gerald defends just me. Gerald defends enemies. See, when you don't have any sort of value system that's worth diddly squat, you will say and you will do anything. And that is what Dumpsey does. Now, I want to make sure it's clear. Dumpsey was trying to distance himself from all of these atrocities that he was involved with front and center. His money paid for these atrocities that he's complaining about. And I think with respect to Carrie Ann, it's really appalling because he doesn't give a shit about Carrie Ann. The only reason why you hear Dumpsey reacting the way he is because it's hitting close to home. He has experienced multiple disciplinary outcomes, negative outcomes. He has a permanent strike on his license for stealing the Medicaid money. And let's make this very clear. Finding a fact means you did it. I don't give a damn about a settlement. This is a finding of fact that is part of the record that he stole that $8,000 plus. It was so serious that they stated he cannot supervise anyone who is in the process of trying to earn a license. He can't supervise their work because he's a thief. He can't be trusted. He has other formal warnings from the board, which means when there's another complaint, they're going to take the complaint to the next level. And I have yet to file with the board again. I'm going to. Trust you me, I will. And I have a whole history of violations that Dumpsey perpetrated since he received the warning letter. There have been other warning letters. He has lost multiple contracts. So him saying, well, if I was not working for myself, they would have got me too. We already did get you. He's been disciplined multiple times, so he has experienced the negative consequences of his behavior, and rightfully so. It's just more lies about Gerald losing 2 jobs because he has no actual ammunition that he can bring forth, so he has to lie. It was 3 years ago, and it didn't result from anybody calling a job and saying, hey, Gerald Palmer's doing this. It had to do with Gerald delaying in reporting threats. That's what it was related to. Nothing about misconduct that he did as a result of somebody, quote, getting him in trouble. But I stated it before and I'll state it again. As Gerald has stated himself, he will not make that mistake again. He's not going to wait around if anybody's threatening him or his family or his livelihood, he's not going to wait. He's going to take action, and he has a right to take that action. He made the comment, this is Dumpsey, that we didn't say anything when people were accusing Binary of being a child P and a child M. That is a lie. Gerald came out and was very vocal in objecting to this label. I made it very clear his conduct towards me when he was doing what he was doing, this is Binary, I considered that predatory. I was talking about adult on adult, and yes, I stood by what I stated before. With respect to me, I did consider that behavior to be predatory because it was repetitive. It had nothing to do with children in terms of what was happening about what he said and did to me. So what is Dumpsey freaking out about? Where was Dumpsey when his wife Latasha was wailing on their 5-year-old, non-protected of the child? And he tried to hide it as if everybody else around here had issues regarding children when he was in his own home and allowed that to go on. He's married to a convicted child abuser and should keep his MFing mouth shut. I think it's funny he brings up Tip P, ex post facto. Well, we probably could have figured it out anyway if we thought about it. That was all about money. When she realized he didn't have any money, it was toodaloo. And besides, what advice could she have given Dumpsey when she only looks at one side of the equation? She's proven that over and over again. Lawyers are supposed to look at both sides and weigh the issues, not just look at one side and forget about what else is going on. But hey, whatever. We see what happened with that situation. He ended up dogging her out like he does every other woman that he has a falling out with, or female, however you want to describe them. He is the one that's frustrated because what he set out to do failed. He wanted to craft all of these lies and all these fallacies about us and thought they were going to stick, and they didn't stick. Even using money didn't work. He paid more and more money to more and more people to try to get these lies to take hold, and they never did. That's why he is so frustrated. Do you hear this dude talking about he's worried, he didn't want to lose a job, and people are looking and listening to what you're saying? Why would you worry? What he says makes no sense. If you are not doing anything that could result in any actionable claim or criminal charges, what would be the reason that you would be concerned about people recording you? I don't care about people recording me. He doesn't like it because he wanted to continue to abuse and harass and threaten us with impunity. He considered it entertainment. It's such crap what he's saying about Carrie Ann because he considered it entertainment. Until he got caught up, he didn't listen. People kept telling him over and over to watch it, and he didn't. And he got caught up in a situation which he's still in right now. There's a complaint that's still pending. That's what he's thinking about. He doesn't care about any Carrie Ann. Are you serious? If you care about a person, you would not allow them to go for 3 years. 3 years doing what she did and never tried to stop, never tried to intervene, nothing. So all of these freaks out here trying to act like they're supporting Carrie, you don't support anybody. You support the F shit that she was doing because it was entertainment for you. You didn't care about any consequences that would befall her. You just wanted to see a fight. You wanted to see a back and forth. We have always been serious about people coming for us in ways that's harassing, that's illegal. We always made it clear these illegal acts, this harassment, these threats, these protected class attacks were not going to be tolerated, especially if they come from a rogue public servant. I'll say rogue public servants, plural. Same goes for anyone else. If you're engaging in conduct that crosses the line, we will address that issue. We have a right to address that issue. As a matter of fact, I find it very ironic that you have these freaks complaining about us defending ourselves when YouTube has these policies. YouTube has the same policies that we are enforcing on behalf of ourselves. If you don't like YouTube's rules and regulations, leave YouTube. They're trying to come after us. We are simply following what YouTube says. But they want to try to hijack YouTube's platform and tell us not to report things. They want to talk about bullies. That's bullying. When you know something is illegal and you're trying to harass people out of reporting it because they feel it's going to be detrimental to them. If you don't want something to be detrimental to you, you shouldn't be engaging in the activity. That's the dots they haven't quite connected. But that's their problem if they can't connect the dots. And these freaks even joined in. They joined in and engaged in the same types of attacks upon Carrie Ann, and we were able to capture that information that Dumpsey participated in, and that's why he lost the contract with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And let me make it clear, Carrie Ann's info wasn't the only reason. It was one of the incendiary groups of comments that Dumpsey made, and the Texas Department of Criminal Justice decided he's not appropriate to work with the population of clients that they have, those involved with the criminal justice system. So he had joined in. Now he's trying to tell you he's all upset. No, he's talking about his own ass. He's trying to save his own ass. He is reacting to what he has to deal with, which is essentially the same thing as Carrie Ann, except for she got put on suspension by a school district. He's been sanctioned by the board and other regulating entities. Right now, as we speak, he is undergoing scrutiny with another entity because of his inappropriate, atrocious conduct on YouTube. These subjects decided what they wanted to do. They wanted to join hands. They wanted to dance around the bonfire. They wanted to make fun. They wanted to have a great time trashing people, thinking it's all good. We all black folks in a black space. No. Stick with each other if that's how you want to rock, but you can't force other people to join you. You cannot force us to dance around your bonfire, your demonic bonfire, and like, oh, we're not going to say anything. Yes, we are. We're going to keep speaking up. We're going to keep reporting. And Dumpsey making light of reports that go into the FBI. Listen, those who are naysaying, and we know who they are, those who are engaging in the behavior, they're the naysayers. What they don't know is the FBI has multiple different divisions. One of them is cyber crimes. Yes, they take things seriously. Yes, they got threats to stop. I don't care what anybody says. They were able to stop the threats. When they kept escalating and escalating, thinking everything is funny, this is all ha ha ha. Oh, isn't this great? We're able to say what we want. No, you can't. Not without incurring some potentially very serious negative adversarial consequences. You are not a victim. You are a perpetrator of abuse. Here is a therapist who shouldn't have a license up here threatening violence. That is the most atrocious conduct that you can perpetrate, because the number one priority for this profession is preserving life. Thank God the public defender's office isn't going to let him anywhere near their clients. He's up here threatening people with violence, and he thinks he can run programs with people in the criminal justice system who are arrested for domestic violence and other crimes. No way in hell. And I'm so glad the Texas Department of Criminal Justice stepped in and did something. One of the most hilarious things Dumpsey has ever said or pushed and continued to perpetrate this. And he contradicts himself and doesn't even know it and doesn't care. He's just desperate to get out negative information. He's up here talking about he's not going to sue me because I don't have anything, but he's the one with the $133,000 tax lien. He's the one with the house underwater. He's the one who's bailing because he knows we're not going to put up with this bullshit, and it's going to cost him money. Every time he harasses us, it's compiling. And he furthermore says, I'm not going to sue her because I won't be able to collect the money. He's not suing me because he doesn't have the money. Just like he didn't have the money to fight the case with the licensing board. He blamed everything on his wife, who should not have been working in the office to begin with. See, that all would have been uncovered, that a convicted child abuser was working in his office, his wife. That's why he didn't want to take the issues with the licensing board. to the hilt because he settled. And then he signed his name like a child, like a kindergartner. He was so mad. Look at the signature. He's pissed that he signed this stipulation with a finding of fact. He can't sue me because he can't afford it. And talking about he said he would win, we have several negative, several adversary outcomes against Dumpsey. We would win hands down, just like we won the federal case that Dumpsey paid for, that Catherine Brown filed. That's another reason why he's so pissed. The judge cleared us. The judge cleared me. The judge cleared Rev G. The judge cleared anti-fraud warriors. You would never win in a court case. You initiated all this bullshit. The timeline is clear. Sue me, you chicken shit. You know you can't afford it, and you know you're going to lose. You're the one up here slaving over a cash register, cannot afford to hire employees at that decrepit dollar store because you know your history, because you know your time is up in the mental health field. And actually, it was always up. And he's up here on a telephone in a car. Listen, this freak is up here on a telephone. Somebody calls on crisis. And the first thing he wants to know is what insurance they have. He's up here on YouTube saying clients' names to the entire world because it was more important for him to be on a live stream talking about Umar from his office, and he did not mute the mic. And this happened several times. And he's sitting up here passing judgment when you see in front of the whole world how inept this idiot is. And he thinks he can step to anybody. If he was not in the wrong, if what he was doing was 100% legit, why is he bowing out? Because he knows time has been up for so long and he can't accept it. Well, he can keep coming back all he wants. And guess what's going to happen? The same damn thing that happened before and worse. Dumpsey's the one who suffered the consequences for his YouTube conduct and will continue to suffer consequences offline for his YouTube conduct. We are not going to be silenced. We don't care what kind of cockamamie schemes you come up with. We are ready because we're not the ones running and hiding. No matter what lies Dumpsey says, we still prevail with the truth. And you know I have more coming your way. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.